The 9th Charnel is a first-person psychological survival horror game. Lots of sound effects, soundscapes, designing. The 9th Charnel, it takes place in a very present world. Societies are very complex. Overall, if you look at the game, it's quite hard in general. Our main protagonist, Michael, needs to escape, find his friends, and escape from the area and go back to his family. I made sure to make it as global as possible. So I will say that this is a made in India game for the world. We are planning on going with an early next year release. Okay, so now I'll be going ahead and reading some comments from the trailer and sharing you my thoughts. Hello guys, my name is Saikat Deb. I am the developer of the upcoming survival horror game, The 9th Charnel, and you are watching me on Games Made in India at IGN India. The 9th Charnel is a first-person psychological survival horror game. So basically it's a single-player game. What I made sure is to make the game as immersive to the player as possible. Lots of sound effects, soundscapes, designing. Making sure that the graphics are very immersive to the player, that they feel realistic to the world that we are creating, and really that the player should feel like they are inside the world, that they can feel the environment, not just look into it. There's always a sense of dread and anxiety that you can get from the player if you're going with survival horror. So that's why I chose survival horror first. Alien Isolation, because of the survival element that we have, like you have constant dread, anxiety playing that game. And then I would say Resident Evil 7 and Village, and there's some heavy influence from that in this game, from the 9th Charnel as well. And if I go even more, then I would say Outlast. Those are also some of my favorite games. If I'm being more honest, I would say it's just not the horror games that I've taken inspiration from. I would say I've taken inspiration from other genres as well, some other narrative-driven games. So one of them would be Last of Us Part 1, just because of the emotional narrative that it had. So I wanted to borrow some of those inspirations into 9th Charnel as well. Make sure that the characters feel alive, that they have a background within them, that they feel rich, that they have character and depth into them. Before I was a game developer, I considered myself as a filmmaker. So yeah, from college days, I would say I did lots of short films with my friends. That really helped me take those experiences and combine them into the game development scene as well. I love Hereditary and Robert Eggers' The Lighthouse. There was very few sets and locations in the film, but what they did was that they used the sounds, the silence in the film in a very effective way. And they really made sure that the story wraps up in a way that the watchers feel like they're into the world. So I wanted to really take those into the gaming environment as well. So the 9th Charnel, it takes place in a very present world. The governments and the societies are very complex. I would say they're almost corrupt in the game. So in that way, we could explore lots of sides of the humanity. Really, when you look at the game, you will feel like it's very grounded, that you can see the game and you can see the story and you can like think, okay, this may happen in real world as well. We also looked into faith and how if it's not taken carefully, if they're not considered carefully, that it becomes as an instrument of weapon rather than something that can bring people together. So those are some really complex themes that we made sure that we explore in the game. So I went with a very basic slot-based inventory system. The reason behind that decision was to make sure that the player not busy going through the inventory UIs and trying to figure out how to do stuff. I wanted to keep it very simple so that the player can really focus on the immersion of the game. And everything around this, like the inventory system, the mechanics, they're there to supplement that. So I wanted to make sure that that's the way it is. What's the actual core gameplay loop? So I would say it's more driven towards the stealth of the game. to the stealth mechanics. We do have combat in the game, but it doesn't take the forefront. For right now, when you start the game, I would say a good amount of the game is more stealth based. So think of Alien Isolation. At the later stage of the game, the stakes will become much more tougher and it will become more complex to defend the enemies. So at that point of time, the player will get various weapons like shotgun or handgun or something like that. Now, if you're going the combat is more similar to the common RE games, Resident Evil games. So that's where we go into the combat. But basically, if I had to summarize, I would say it's like Outlast plus Resident Evil. And when you start the game, the puzzles are, I would say, relatively easier. But overall, if you look at the game, it's quite hard in general. So the way I designed it to make sure that it doesn't become too easy for the player to solve it, nor does it become too hard for them to figure out. So to strike that perfect balance, it was quite tough because I had to do lots of play testing. Right now, I have come in a place where I feel like it's good enough, where the player doesn't immediately figure it out and oh, it's so easy. I did play a bit of puzzles game to get a generic game design point of view, but not any specific inspirations or like that. So our main protagonist is called Michael J. Jones, and he is basically a geneticist. They were basically coming back after doing some sort of research and experimentation, and while they were coming back, something very strange happens and their car falls down a cliff. And from there, our main protagonist, Michael, needs to escape, find his friends and escape from the area and go back to his family. When we started the game, it was made in Unreal Engine 4. 2 years it was developed in Unreal Engine 4, but then Unreal Engine 5 got released, and along with it, all those features. At that point, I was like, okay, I have to change, I have to convert. So I upgraded it to Unreal Engine 5.3. Now, the reason why I did that is because we had access to lumens, nanites, and metahumans. So some of those are really important stuff in the game as far as the development goes. So I made lots of assets during my college days, so I had lots of assets lying in my laptop, but I couldn't use them directly because they were not very optimized and when I was making them, it was just for college projects, right? So what I did was I bring them in, remodeled it again and put them in. But I also used lots of pre-made assets. The problem with that is that if you just bring them in and put them in, it won't fit the world. Those are made by others. They don't know what your world is like. So put them into Substance Painter, Blender, remodeled it to make sure that they fit the world. When you are a solo developer, you have to make sure that your vision is realistic, that you're able to, whatever you're trying to do, that it is realistic to your resources. I didn't really heavily rely on jump scares. I did do jump scares in the game, but there were few far in between just to make sure that they remain effective. I relied predominantly on the atmosphere. In horror games, your atmosphere is nothing without your sound. So what I did was that I made sure that the sound is to the point. After that, we also made sure that's a constant sense of tension in the game, that the player should feel anxiety while playing the game. And of course, there are some moments that I tried to give it a more relaxed, so the player get a chance to explore the story element of the game as well. But yeah, it's a push and pull kind of thing. Yeah, there are like 12 levels in the game. 2 of them are narrative driven, and each level has its own difficulty and each level has its own enemy AIs. If I give into lore, the cult is called the Charnels. The player will explore this cult specifically in this world. There are lots of enemies in the cult itself, so that in the demo there's like 1 or 2 variations of cult you have seen, but in the game itself there's like 8 or 9 or 10 variations of these members. We have developed the game in a way that you can expand it as much as you want. Let's see how it goes, man. You have to play the game, and let me tell you, at the end it's not what you will be expecting. It varies very much on how the player plays the game. So 9th Charnel is a proudly made in India game. Horror is something that is very universal, and players from all around the world would be able to relate to that game. I made sure to make it as global as possible. So I will say that this is a made in India game for the world. I do find like lots of Indian players that are very much into horror games. Recently I saw that Kamla was a very big one. I feel there's lots of big Indian YouTubers that can help bring the game to the Indian audience. 6 to 8 hours. It's a very relatively short game. I watched the movie The Ring. I really like the aesthetic and I want to make something like that. I was into filmmaking back then. But I thought like, okay, I can't really make it because I don't have the budget. So I thought, what's next? What's the next best way to do it? With game, I can do lots of things by myself. I will have lots more creative control into them as well. First, I wrote a very basic GDD. Then I went into the concept art. I did some rough sketches myself. After I did the rough sketches, I went straight into the music. After the music was done, I really went to the development. For 1 to 2 months, I went with Unity, but then I switched to Unreal Engine eventually because I thought that I found that Unreal Engine provided me a greater flexibility with visuals. So I went there. I started to polish the demo only. So like 30 minutes of the gameplay. Once that demo was done, I thought of doing a playtest on that demo. Once I did a playtest on that demo, it went a bit viral. I realized that this game has potential. So eventually lots of publishers reached out to me. When the publisher themselves started reaching out to me, I realized, okay, I see that they seem interested into the game. After going through lots of rounds from many publishers, I eventually ended up with SOEDESCO. And they also had a background in horror games, so they have published few other horror games. They have been a great support for the game, I would say. We have built a very unique world. We are planning on going with an early next year release. So you can say first quarter of 2026 is what we're planning. It of course will be in what a competitive indie games price range is, and as far as the regional pricing, of course we will be going with the regional pricing to make sure that it's competitive for the Indian markets as well. So that's very exciting, and I consider that to be a new accomplishment. I'm from Assam, and likewise my studio is also based in Assam. I would say the gaming community in Assam is quite vibrant, obviously. It has its own limitations, I would say, in the console and even in the PC. It's more predominantly mobile-based market there in my hometown. I really want to see the console market expand there as well. But as far as the community goes, yeah, they were super friendly. The gaming environment itself, I would say it's still very upcoming, and I would love to see more support going there as well. So recently I applied for the Sony PlayStation Partner Program, and luckily I got in. This will allow me to directly publish game on the PlayStation platform. I did lots of texturing to make sure that the characters fit inside the world. I used Substance Painter to customize the character, the pigmentation, and apply the makeup, and customized everything so that it reflects to the story that we're making. So we did use MetaHuman, so we modified it, gave it the look that we wanted it to have, so as to it fits the concept art we're looking at. The facial animations are as realistic as possible to the story, since it's a narrative driven game. When I was prototyping the game, I did lots of handmade keyframe animations, but as you can guess, it was very rough. I started looking up various solutions that can help me enhance the visuals, the animations. Naturally, I went with mocap. I found a couple of online mocaps, online AI mocaps, but those weren't up to the mark. Then I started looking at which studios provide such solutions, the mocap technology, and so. But I found most of them to be very expensive. I found one in Chandigarh, so I immediately booked the tickets and went there. They were very affordable for the quality that they provided, but it was pure raw mocap data. It needed lots of work to get it in the way that it's presentable. I recorded those stuff, I recorded myself, I acted the characters myself, I wore the suit. It was a magnetic suit. So it wasn't like the most common mockups would be the cameras, it would be a 360-degree camera. So we didn't have that, it was a magnetic suit. I recorded the raw mockup data, and then came up the raw. Once I got the raw data, it was good, it was better than keyframe, but it needed lots of work to really make it presentable. It's a very tedious process to clean up the raw mockup data, so you have to go each frame by frame and fix those bad keyframes. And I'm still, to this date right now, I'm still polishing the animations even more, and it will be polished until the release. Okay, so now I'll be going ahead and reading some comments from the trailer and sharing you my thoughts. So AK47666 says UE5 games equals highly unoptimized games. Well, I can understand where you're coming from, but that's because Unreal Engine 5 by default comes with very heavy features. Now it's really up to the developers to make sure which features to take in and which not, and really it depends upon what target hardwares those developers are looking at. There's a common misconception that just because it's an Unreal Engine 5 game, it would be very performance heavy. That's not true. We do optimize the game just to make sure that it runs as smoothly as possible while maintaining the visual fidelity that we're trying to achieve. At Dyson6493 says, will we get a demo? Well, of course. In fact, the demo is right now live on Steam, so go check it out and really play it up and share me your thoughts. Like, your feedbacks would help us a lot. At Anirudh Sharma 8608 says, when can I play on PS5? Well, it will be available on PS5 simultaneously across all platforms. So as soon as the game gets released, it should be available on all platforms. So keep an eye on the release date. At Bhaibab Majumdar 007 says, we need Hindi, Bengali, Telugu and Tamil dub for this. Okay, so that's a lot of languages. So I mean, right now we don't really have plans for including those languages, but I can understand and I will definitely look into it if you can include them. But for a complete voice dub, I think it would be quite a big undertaking, especially at this stage of the development process, as we're almost heading into launch. But we do have some other languages, but we will look into this and see what you can do. At Mahim Bora says, wait, what? My own people from my own state are making it? What? That's cool, man. Yeah, I really share your experience as well. I guess you're from Assam. Yeah, that's my hometown as well. I mean, that's my state as well. I am from Guwahati. So, I mean, I can understand how exciting it might be to see a fellow developer from your own state making a game, and I really share that excitement as well, and I really wanted to showcase the talents we have there as well. So really do support the game, man. I really appreciate it. At Harshit1943 says, I hope it reaches or surpasses what Fears to Phantom did. That's quite a big ambition. I mean, I really love what Fears to Phantom did in the horror genre, and I hope that we reach that level to what they did with their game. I think it's something the 9th Charnel has a very interesting story and atmosphere, and I think players react similarly and appreciate 9th Charnel as much as they did with Fears to Phantom. So yeah, that was it, and thanks for watching. But before you go, don't forget to play the demo of the 9th Charnel on Steam. It's live there, so go check it out, give it a try, and let us know what you think about the game. Yeah, so that was it, and make sure that you wishlist the game on Steam. And yes, thanks IGN India for this opportunity. Really appreciate it.